Hello, good evening, and welcome back. At many points in life, you get options to tilt the world towards heaven or towards hell, and this is most pertinent when you have to pick the lesser of two evils between a social hell or a personal hell. That is to say, will you do the thing that other people say is right and say you should do, but you know that it doesn't sit right, and from your philosophy and understanding of morals, it just does not make sense? Or do you go, no, I know what you want me to do, and I hear you, I understand that, but I really can't bring myself to do it. And sure, I'll be an outcast for it, but that's what I've got to do. Ostracize me if you want, but solitude can be a gift, as Charles Bukowski wrote. And I think we've got a couple of points here. One from Trump in America, that is, if you lose fair and square, hold your head up high, admit defeat, and move on. Defeats happen. As a businessman, of course, he'll be aware of that. However, don't do it just because other people are saying so. No. If you know that there's still something left and you can make it work, then it isn't over when people say it's over. It's over when you say it's over. When you're done. That is when you leave. And just like over here, following on from an earlier video I made about the Queen's visit down to Sandringham, that she did not wear a mask at that point, but as she's visiting the unknown warrior grave for the centenary, she has decided to wear a mask instead. And I'm sure there could be many things going on here, and it could simply be that my understanding of it beforehand was incorrect, thinking that it was a small act of protest to say, we don't need to do this. We didn't fight for our freedoms just to give them up this easily. Bear in mind, across the pond, of course, with all their celebrations that the virus seems to have gone, I wonder when we're going to get that memo and say the virus is no longer an issue. Biden's in the White House. It's okay. And yes, I know he's not president until 20th of January. If it's legitimate. But let's read on for the Queen then. So the Queen has worn a face mask in public for the first time. On Wednesday, the monarch, 94, made a private pilgrimage to the grave of the unknown warrior in Westminster Abbey to mark the centenary of his burial. Since 1923, when her mother went there annually in order to lay a wreath, just like at a wedding bouquet, as a symbol of commemoration and in memory of all those brave people, the poor souls who had to give their lives during the First World War, and latterly for any soldier that has died fighting for our country, and yet we do not know who they are. That is what it is there to commemorate, and it is vitally important that it is shown, because even if we can't identify exactly who you are, we know what you did, and we're very grateful for that. That is vitally important. And there's a definite juxtaposition to see the Queen giving thanks for the people who kept this nation free while at the same time wearing a muzzle. There's a stark contrast there. And it doesn't sit right with myself, but I pass on the wisdom to herself. I'm sure Her Majesty is aware of what she's doing. So they say that the Queen's attendance at the private ceremony in London at Westminster Abbey earlier this week was described as a simple but deeply personal act. The grave of the unknown warrior is as relevant and poignant today as it was when Her Majesty's grandfather and father stood in the Abbey at its side 100 years ago, said a royal aide. It holds enormous significance for the country and the royal family. The Queen was keen that the centenary was marked appropriately. And the same goes for Remembrance Sunday tomorrow. I hope we all take a moment to understand life may have its ups and downs and difficulties now, but it's nothing compared to what was experienced in the past. And we must do our utmost to make sure that these things do not repeat themselves. And that's why I always strive for freedom, and I'm sure you guys do as well, in order to ensure that we do not forget. We learn from the mistakes of our forefathers, of the people that came before us, and we move forward. We fail forward to do better than what they did, so that if they're in heaven looking down, looking at their lineage, their children, or their family's children, they can see us and just be blown away by how bloody well we've done coming from them in a way that would be unimaginable to a World War I soldier. The way that we live now, the things that we do now, would boggle the mind. And it is nice sometimes to think, if they're up there looking down, to go, thank you for giving me this opportunity, for bringing forward your life to get me to this point today, to be in this country as opposed to so many others, and I'd much rather be here. So thank you for putting me in this position, and hopefully I can carry on that legacy and bring it forward to my children and children's children and so on. So it's a more poignant one today, but let me know down below what you guys think more so of, not just Remembrance Sunday, but also this Unlearned Warrior in particular, and to take a moment, especially as it will be Remembrance Sunday when you hear this, of what it means to you and why it is so vitally important. And I'll follow up tomorrow. But as always, thank you for watching, and have a good one.